Happy Independence Day, Nigeria. It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulu Olabisi Ugbo, and with me are the amazing ladies. YK,
Hey.
YK, I haven't seen you since I came back. Happy Independence Day, especially to you. I don't know who I offended, though. They've not put you and me on the same show.
No.
It's unfair. Yes, we have to deal with them. We have to deal with them. How you doing, Mama?
I've not seen you.
I missed you.
First time I've seen you since I got back.
Yes,
I've been back about 6 months.
Imagine. Wow.
Why didn't people see the place you go?
We're supposed to see, actually. I don't even know what happened that day. We couldn't meet up again. How you doing? You
I'm
look
fine,
amazing.
I'm
As
fine.
usual. Mother Africa, Mother Nigeria today.
Yes, so I want to thank my special designer, special friend, Irawo Abi. Thank you for kitting me today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look
Yeah,
splendid.
she's even said she's going to be doing me at least once a month.
Oh, wow. Please, can we meet her too? No. So she will add us now.
They want to take her away from
No,
me.
we'll take her. No, we won't do that to you. We won't do that to you. But we can just share from time to time. You look amazing. Nima Akashat Zibiri, I've missed you. Nobody. Officer Nima. Lieutenant.
Major.
Major General. Nima. Good morning.
Yeah.
How you doing?
So this is not Arabian culture.
Okay.
Military-inspired Independence Day wear.
Wow.
When she drew the outfits and sent me the, the picture of the creative work before the sewing, I was confused. How would I wing it? I thought we have military camouflage, but as a military wife, she knew the brief.
Okay.
So I would not cross any soldier on the road.
Yeah.
So this is conforming.
Very
Thank you so much. Very nice.
beautiful.
Yeah. I'll do pictures later, so stay on my page.
Yeah. So what's happening to you? Any gist today?
Today, the women in journalism have invited the ladies of your view will be nominated for
An award?
An award, yeah. For, I think I'm trying to go. I'll find the category later, but it's later today in the evening. Hopefully, we'll all be there.
Okay. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Miriam Lunge. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
You're looking like a girl wife.
Our Yoruba wife.
Honestly.
Yeah. I was like, I hardly wear a head tie, but today I just tied the head tie. I said, go big, go bold, or go home. So I wanted it to be as wide as possible, as high as possible, so you will know that I have tied head tie today.
Yes, you have. And we now know. What's up, anything?
Nothing, but I forgot yesterday to talk about the celebration dance competition. I was there. I wasn't there from the beginning, but it was such a fabulous event, YK. I mean, to see those young, energetic, dancers. Yes. All sorts of styles, but, and they had to dance to Fela's music, and they came up with different, interpretations of his songs, and I thought that we were really talented in this country. And I just hope that we can, shed, what is it? Shine more light on these kids. When our minister for creative economy is talking about doing things internationally, there's so much we can also do locally. And I thought
even
that
tourism
nice
as well.
to have seen a representation of that ministry at the celebration.
No, which minister? They all knew now.
No, she didn't know about celebration now. She said, when I asked her questions, deep, she did not know now.
I say it's deep question.
Deep question. She's called the chop on.
So, let's talk about me now.
It's only working I can see that.
I got away with it. Yeah, so I didn't have what to wear because apparently I'd grown all my natives. So we had to go inside the box. Finally, I remember that there's this green one that I wore just once, and I needed, everybody has to find that green one, or else I will not come to work, or I don't have what to wear. Finally, we found it, and I was able to squeeze myself inside. I'm not very comfortable today. I can't wait to get home so that I can take it off.
I love the roses.
Yeah, thank you so much. But we're working on our weights now. Auntie Coach is here, giving direction.
Excuse me.
I'm working on my weight.
Overweight?
Yes, I'm 90 kg.
For your height?
I live height.
No, 90 kg.
Forget height.
Is not bad.
No. But I need to be town.
Miriam, what is your weight?
YK, you and I, we don't discuss my weight.
Exactly.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Yes.
We don't?
No, you don't.
It's not too much.
It's too small. It's too much.
YK, I love you.
Let's
move on.
But the bottom line
because
is...
me, I've lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, you look amazing with it. Bottom line is I'm working on mine.
Too thin now, so
You are actually.
I'm working on mine. Hopefully we'll get to 75 by the grace of God. We're hoping. That's the goal. Let's
That's
take a
YK.
short break. When we come back, we do the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
We have something.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We'll be starting the newspaper review with The Nation. Major headline here, Tinubu, we choose reforms to avoid collapse. President convenes National Youth Conference. New employment program takes off soon. This picture here is the renewed hope agenda milestones and some of the things that they have achieved so far. We're taking it inside the papers. 64th Independence Anniversary, IG orders tight security. CGN to change judiciary's negative narratives. Forum shopping must end now. Protests will not erase reality of petrol subsidy removal, says Omokri. Where has it been? UBA shares rally on 1.37 trillion half-year earnings. I'm sure we still have some stories inside.
Okay.
So what are we taking?
So the CGN
That's my
was...
story.
True?
Yep.
Today, that's today.
It's all of our stories, so take it.
Take it.
Then
Yeah.
I'll have what to take.
You can take it.
Okay, thank you. So the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yesterday reaffirmed his administration's commitment to respecting independence of the judiciary. He vowed never to interfere or abuse the relationship between the executive and the judiciary. This was during the swearing-in of Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun as the 23rd Chief Justice of Nigeria and the second female. When she spoke, Justice Kekere-Ekun promised to reposition the judiciary and work on ways to improve public confidence in it. She warned that the courts will not tolerate disregard of the court's decisions and orders. She spoke at a special court session to mark the commencement of the Supreme Court 2024-2025 new legal year and the conferment of the rank of SAN on 87 lawyers. She said, this is a new dawn, a new era in the Nigerian judiciary. I wish to assure my fellow Nigerian citizens that we're committed to working more diligently to improve public perception of the Nigerian judiciary. And then over the years, various factors have contributed to the negative image of the judiciary. I'm so happy that she mentioned that, that they're aware of that. And she says, however, we're determined to change the narrative and make judiciary a source of pride for all Nigerians. And then she talked about forum shopping by some legal practitioners, and she says it's rampant, something that they're going to stop. So this is where lawyers will try and push their cases to court that they think that they'll get more favorable outcomes, and that is not acceptable. Wow. And that there will be consequences, for any act of indiscretion that could bring the judiciary to disrepute.
Okay. So I have a story here, October 1st protest, IG orders tight security in states. So ahead of today's 64th Independence Day celebration and the planned protest by some people, Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, yesterday ordered watertight security across the country to ensure a peaceful atmosphere of the citizens. So he directed police formations to clamp down on miscreants in any part of the country. He gave the order in a statement by Force Public Relations Officer FPRO Olumuyiwa Adejobi and also an Assistant Commissioner of Police ACP. And the statement read, as part of the IGP's comprehensive plan to ensure a seamless celebration, the IGP has ordered the deployment of adequate human and tactical resources to enable a maximum level of security for the independence celebrations. The police is in synergy with other security agencies. They will fortify various designated event venues and the major highways across the country to forestall any threats to life and property in this celebration. So additionally, he said he's directed all personnel deployed for various operations during the celebrations to be cautious and firm in their engagement with members of the public. He went ahead to felicitate with Nigerians, as we commemorate our independence anniversary. He said Nigerians need to reflect on the journeys, the triumphs, the challenges that have shaped our nation and the sacrifices of our founding fathers as well, what they have contributed to our nation's growth, unity, and progress. Then they are also asking every other person to pay attention to what's going on around you. If you see anything, say something. They left some numbers here that you can call if you suspect that anything, yes, is going, the wrong way. Then there will also be traffic diversions in different areas that they are expecting large crowds. So hopefully today will be a very peaceful one. Any other story in the nation?
I have, what do you have?
No.
Okay, I have the Philip Shaibu story. So the embattled deputy governor of Edo State decided to take over his office since he has a subsisting judgment reinstating him. He went and attempted to come into government house, and his attempt was thwarted by security agencies under the instructions of the Governor Godwin Obaseki, who was not around at the time he tried to clear. He was not still around. Well, his media aides were talking to the deputy governor, and they insisted that he's been impeached. He should wait for his appeal to be heard by the appeal court, and until then, he should not attempt to visit the house. But Philip Shaibu went ahead to inspect the 5-star Radisson Hotel in the government reserved area being constructed by the state government. And where Obaseki responded to that as any citizen or resident in Edo State can do that. So he can go around and inspect his laudable works, but he should not attempt to take over office because he's been impeached. And the DSS officials and men of the NSCDCs were on standby at 8 a.m. at the main gate of Government House Benin to maintain peace and order. Obviously, not to maintain it, but to resist the rule of law, because
exactly
they're insisting. But at least it's November don't reach finishing.
Yes, so
it's a matter of time.
A matter of time. Okay, now the punch. Nigeria at 64, we must reform our collapse. Tinubu. CSOs vow to go on with protest. Alleged 27 billion fraud, ex-Taraba governor Ishaku remanded in custody. I'm sure there are a lot more stories inside the paper. But let's take a short break now. When we come back, we continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
You be like person without fortune. At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now. His name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
Welcome back. We're still reviewing the punch. So I have Nigeria 64, we must reform or collapse. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Tuesday stated that Nigeria must either reform for progress and prosperity or continue with business as usual, risking collapse. He said his administration, upon taking over the leadership of the country 16 months ago, decided to reform the political economy and defense architecture, given the critical juncture the country found itself. So he lamented that Nigeria found itself in a precarious situation because of the missed opportunities and mistakes of the past, while calling on Nigerians not to allow the mistakes to follow the country into the future. This was part of the text of the national broadcast by the president. Then he listed a lot of things that they had achieved already. Let me just go straight to that because there's a lot here. Said the economy was undergoing necessary reforms and retooling to serve the people better and more sustainably. Thanks to the reforms, our country attracted foreign direct investment, worth more than 30 billion US dollars in the last year. It says we inherited a reserve of over 33 billion 16 months ago. Since then, we've paid back the inherited forex backlog of 7 billion US dollars. We've cleared the ways and means a debt of over 30 trillion. We have reduced the debt service ratio from 97% to 68%. Despite all this, we've managed to keep our foreign reserve at 37 billion US dollars. We continue to meet all our obligations and pay our bills. We are moving ahead with our fiscal policy reforms. And he now said to stimulate our productive capacity and create more jobs and prosperity, the Federal Executive Council approved the economic stabilization bills, which will now be transmitted to the National Assembly. He said these bills will make our business environment more friendly, stimulate investment, and reduce the tax burden on businesses and workers once they are passed into law. It's a whole read. It's written in The Punch and in The Nation. I think Nigerians should go and look at it and
also
see.
online.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have the 27 billion naira fraud. So the ex-governor of Taraba State, former governor of Taraba State, Darius Ishaku, and the former PS of the Bureau for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Bello Yero, have been remanded in the EFCC custody by the Federal High Court in Maitama, Abuja, following, of course, this 27 billion naira diversion belonging to the state. So the EFCC broke down this amount from $1 billion, which was diverted between August 25 and August 25, 2015 and March 21, 2016, as well as several other periods of time, 650 million, the total amount of 27 billion at the end of the day, which is what they've been brought to court for. The suit was heard yesterday and the court remanded them for that hearing later.
Okay, I have detectives of Criminal Investigation Department in Owerri, Imo State. Monday, they had dismantled a notorious child trafficking syndicate that involved in abduction of children from unsuspecting parents. The spokesperson for the police said that the operation led to the rescue of 3 children. These children were abducted July 24th in Indiwegbu, Umumwa, Onitsha, in Bise local government. The suspects that were arrested, Ifoma Anyanwu, 41, Oloko, and then Chibuzo Loki, 42, Charity Kalu, 24, and Isidora Izioma, 56. All of them, you know, from different parts of the state. There's Imo, some from Imo, Abia states, and they said that these children were lured. They were playing outside, and then they were lured into a tricycle where they were taken away and were sold for ₦1 million. Hey. Thankfully, the police were able to, with thorough investigation, rescue these children, and they're also seeking for the remaining missing children, and they seem quite hopeful, but they're also charging parents to please more vigilant and keep your eyes on your children, because these wicked people are just milling around, waiting for the moment that you turn your eyes away from your kids. Yeah. So well done to the police.
Well done. So another police story, the police are saying the operators of the Delta Yahoo Academy are going to face trial.
What did you just say?
Delta Yahoo Academy.
That's what they call it.
Wow.
They said the academy is known as the Hustlers' Kingdom, and it's in Warri. They took 123 suspects. They came across the school, the academy, when one of the inmates, I don't know whether I should call him inmates, or students, or had sent his parents an SOS message through the laptop that they gave him, saying that he was trapped. And so they managed to infiltrate and capture 123 of them. They said the suspects were lured into a trap with promises of learning ETC trading and Forex, only to find themselves in Hustlers' Kingdom, a notorious cybercrime training network. It's very, very...
Cybercrime training network.
You know, my own fear is the suspects, a lot of them are there without knowing what they're there for. So are they going to try them?
I know, but when you get there, you not know.
No. So it's better that they, try the founders of the academy.
Yes, it's the founders. It's not
the first time.
The children.
Yeah, it's not the first time.
Most of them are 17, 18, 19, and 20. I mean, the oldest being 20.
Then they need to
there was a video trending on time on social media where a lady said she had trained some boys
They know
to
why
do
they're there.
and then pay her some money, and that she felt that they were diverting her money. She beat those boys mercilessly on that video. It was online, and I was wondering, this small shire.
They locked them from Kaduna, Akwa Ibom, Oyo to that particular estate and beat them. They beat them. And
rehabilitate and recruit them.
Feeding them only when they feel like it. So you see, they are actually prisoners. They're not.
Yes.
You know, not voluntary subscribers.
All right, let's move on now to the Vanguard. Major headline: protest. Police talks tough. Organizers allege intimidation. Bobrisky, federal government inaugurates 5-member probe panel. Nigeria 64, Jonathan, Atiku, governors, NLC, others urge unity to tackle nation's challenges. Food crisis, we're focused on eliminating terrorists and bandits. Rivers local government poll, conflicting orders bar INEC from releasing voters register to RSIEC. CGN swears in Ishan, Ubani, Atijon, 84 others as SAN. Banditry, expert faults governor Lawal's allegation against Matawali. That's what we have in the Vanguard.
Okay, so let me take the CGN because Olashupo Atijon, I used to think was the Yoruba name for two friends, but apparently it's the name of one person. So the CGN swore in, administered the oath to 87 senior legal practitioners recently elevated to the rank of SAN. And some of them were mentioned, of course, Olashupo Atijon. I didn't know it was one person. And Latif Karim, Wole Mieson, Monde Ubani, and several others, Charles Musa and many others. And the CJN vowed to sanitize the judiciary by wielding the big stick against Iran judges and lawyers. She performed this as her first official function, flagging up the 2024-2025 legal year of the Supreme Court, and an occasion that gave her the opportunity to administer them. She also spoke during the special session and held to mark the commencement of the new legal year. The judiciary will adhere to the principles of honesty, transparency, and integrity. And the code of conduct for judicial officers will be strictly enforced. And similarly, ethical standards will be expected of the bar. I like this, particularly because whoever takes Bobrisky would have taken that, the lawyer representing VDM was at the House of Reps and addressed himself as a troublemaker. Very undignifying of the profession. I hope that they're looking out for such.
See how serious she's looking now. Why can you have a story in the Vanguard?
Yeah, I took the Bobrisky that the federal government has inaugurated a 5-member probe panel to investigate the allegations made by Very Dark Man to against. Well, he released a tape. The Bobrisky wasn't at the trial. Okay. At the hearing. Very Dark Man came with heavy stones. The EFCC were there. The prisoners were there. So one of the officers, which I found very interesting because I watched it, and he said, he's not on suspension now. Is this not him? That they were suspended by social media.
So his suspension is on social media, which allows him to come in his official gear. Was in his uniform.
Whoa.
So, but the Nigerian prison service have answered and said they've been drawn to a trending video of one of its senior officers purporting that the service has not served him a letter, and he has said that he is actually suspended. So.
I think we'll look into that.
I think it's
so you see all these our elders, they need to learn to talk. You just want to talk.
They need to learn to behave first.
Yes.
And your behavior now make you the talk anyhow.
You don't see elders, just they talk anyhow.
I told you Bobrisky said he was ill. That's why he didn't come.
Oh, wow.
Bobrisky said no.
Okay, final paper before we have to run. Nigerian Tribune. We'll look at stories we haven't taken. Petrol subsidy will bankrupt Nigeria. Omokri wants. Who has that? We've taken Bobrisky here. October 1, IGP orders watertight security. We've taken that. Okay.
Take Omokri in the shortest way. He just was addressing removal of subsidy, saying continuous payment of subsidy would bankrupt us. We should support the federal government in the removal of subsidy.
Okay, that's it, Mary. Thank you, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we move on to our hot topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor?
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds?
And I think he added the medical report. I can't remember for sure now. And the House refused to believe him because several House members kept probing why Bobrisky would not show up. He insisted that he would not talk. His lawyer also introduced himself in a very embarrassing way to the bar by saying that he's a lawyer, he's also a troublemaker before the lawmakers.
Wow.
You know, when we take our profession as a clout-chasing affair. And, you know, he was there as a professional representing somebody in a serious matter and he should have conformed himself. But he went there and dramatized, cloud-chased again. And the House corrected him. One honorable member stood up on the floor and insisted that he should take out troublemaker business because this was serious business before the House. And so they started the hearing. In one of the videos released, I saw a very dark man apologize to the Falanos, to Femi Falana particularly, on the floor of the House and said he hated the fact that their name became muddled in the entire affair. And he continued with his speech. Also in that hearing, he used the opportunity. It was almost as if they didn't know how serious
the matter was.
Coming before the lawmakers. So there are people in civil service who have been wronged. There are people in different aspects, communities whose communities have been taken over, who write to the House every time. I remember when Satellite Town Forum was before the House of Reps on the issue of tank farm and what we were suffering. We will not go there and go and be saying we are a troublesome lawyer or we don't know what we came for. You know, when you are before the House, it is serious matter. It is enough that the House left the serious business of lawmaking to hear you. Because now, when you released an audio, you indicted the EFCC, you indicted the custodial and correctional service, you indicted the Minister of the Interior, you indicted several offices. And it was serious enough that the House gave you a platform. When you go there, whether or not Bobrisky was seated, you state your case.
Yes.
You release your evidence. The evidence that you have put before the House has been judicially noticed by the courts. And that's the seriousness of the matter. But when they go there, everybody's just acting film, you know, just really important. Everybody just doing anyhow things. Lawyer self could not even, you know, advise his client. Everybody just doing things anyhow. He went there and he used the opportunity, which I would have loved if he was comporting himself rightly, to have addressed the Borno flood. And, you know, if you have evidence, additional evidence that the governor is not doing enough for his people, you have called out the governor that is not doing enough, you have asked the House of Reps to look into it, add your evidence, because those are the people who have oversight functions in certain places. It's not like our town people call us, let me go and disgrace my dad.
House meeting.
That kind of thing. It's not house meeting. It is lawmaker, the lawmaking body we have elected into office that have called you and an opportunity to talk to Nigerians in a very more authorized capacity. So you go there as a serious business. When I was a child, one of my uncle was PS, I think Ministry of Works or so at the time. And I saw how they will sit down writing to memos that they were going to the House to. So when I see people going to the House, I expect, it's a tough matter.
It's sort of decorum.
There's a decorum that you carry. You take them as serious as you want them to take you. You don't go there to dramatize, but it was a free-for-all affair with the supporters on Twitter, of course, Helen and some people, you know. It's just such...
But do you think that the lawmakers should not even have involved themselves inside in this issue? It's a probe, like they have inaugurated a probe. There are so many things happening in Nigeria right now that I'm wondering what concerns lawmaker with Bobrisky
into this sort of matter.
You know, it is the government that should institute a probe like they have done. Probe EFCC.
Then maybe the courts will handle it.
The video or the audio. Do investigate
and clean it up.
You House of Rep, hunger there for land. You can't invite these people, and when you get there, no one self did not even appear. Okay, when you invited them, to what end? Just to hear their story? Because what has happened is everybody is free to watch and is soap opera. For all of us, it's a soap opera. For those who are interested, they are laughing. They are all laughing. So when you laugh, you forget your problems, which are many.
And you go back to them after they laughed, and are you laughing all day? Marian, let me hear.
So, yeah, so for me, I hear you both, and I also agree that the way that gathering was conducted seemed quite unprofessional and quite inappropriate is the word. But I think we also forget why that was called. And it's because of the caliber of people involved. That's why we think that this was really a show of drama. But the real issue is about the correctional service and what is allegedly, described as preferential treatment towards Bobrisky. So it's not about Bobrisky and VDM and social media gist. It's because those people are, are involved in something that is so serious that affects us all. How did the correctional service conduct itself? What exactly did it do? Did it really give preferential treatment to Bobrisky, and why? That was why that meeting was held. Secondly, EFCC too was called into this. Did they collect any bribe?
They said no.
They didn't come.
So these are the things.
EFCC was there.
So that's the reason why we were there. But the way that they conducted themselves, I feel that the members should have insisted on proper behavior. I see the Oyinbo people now, no matter how big you are, billionaires have sat in front of their reps and they have sat with all humility. They understand that they're before authority. And you are able to defend yourself respectfully. There, I saw really it was just a show of drama and everything. But also, the members themselves, it didn't occur, for me, I didn't see like they thought it was a big deal. Because they were laughing alongside. They thought it was some of them.
It's a full arena kind of sitting. So everybody can be laughing. It doesn't necessarily make every lawmaker the one laughing.
I don't know,
they came with their crowd.
But what we saw was, it seemed like the members as well were standing for it. After all, they could have stood up, they could have stopped the hearing and said, go back, you and your lawyer, when you're ready to conduct yourself properly, you come back here and you speak to us. This is not social media, this is not a game, this is not YouTube, this is serious business concerning Nigerians, and that is why you're here. So I feel that they did not give them also that idea of this is a serious place. But we have to discuss correctional service, giving preferential treatment, although we're hearing different things. What I even find even more embarrassing is the fact that the officer that was said to have been suspended, say me too, as soon as I hear and as I hear. If I was suspended, would I be standing before you in my uniform? Yes. These are embarrassing.
On social media.
Yes, he had it on social media just like we did. So it shows you that the people that are supposed to be doing serious things
are not doing
serious things. You see this banter we have on social media. That's what they have. It's telling you that's what you have in the offices. Yes. That's what you're doing. There's nothing that's serious anymore. There's a lot that needs to be done. That is why the country is failing. It's not all these big things. This one. It's that in the little everyday things, in the papers, in the conduct, your behavior every day, if you're not able to do this properly, how would you know when you get intelligence that some people are reading? How would you even hear? Because everything you're taking as if it's banter. There's a serious problem in this country.
Yes, so
everybody
we laugh with everything.
Yes.
So I personally feel that that issue shouldn't have gotten to the House of Representatives, as far as I'm concerned. We have bigger issues in the country that they need to sit for. They need to pay attention to. They need to have their hearings for, not this sort of case. This case, like YK rightly said, should have been handled by the organizations supposed to be involved. The prisons, the probe should be going on now for the prisons. If the suspensions are actually done, it should be done properly, not somebody coming out to say, as you hear suspension, as me, I hear suspension, And the caliber of people involved, shouldn't have gotten to a point where the House of Reps members are involved in that. There are certain people in the society where it's not like you wash your hand off, but you allow the law take its course. You know that you pay attention to, the police, what are people doing about this? The correctional center, what are people doing? AFCC, what are people doing about? You don't need to bring them in, because bringing them in is like calling for a circus, knowing the caliber of people they are. They are basically entertainers. So when they come to your front, except of course you have institutionalized in such a way that you are serious-minded, they will perform. what I saw there was just performance. This one we perform, that one we perform. Everybody is performing, and we are laughing. It seems like we are not serious, and that's why the young people will not take you serious, will not take your position serious, because you are not showing the seriousness of the matter. It should be a thing of prestige to sit in the house and call somebody to come and defend themselves, and they are jittery, they are shaking, they are coming, they know it's serious work, they are putting their evidence together, they are coming to prove their case. It should be as serious as the courts, if you ask me.
Yes, now, sure you don't remember that one that, this Niger Delta business.
Yeah.
That was
Off your mic.
Yeah.
That was fake
Off your mic.
Okay.
No, off your mic.
Off your mic.
It was there, yeah.
It was House of Rep people now, I mean, was it not?
Yeah.
So I wanted to...
Let me, before I come to you, Nima, we have Dr. Moyo from Ojo. Good morning, Dr. Moyo.
Yeah, good morning. I'm happy independent. Today with your view. The thing is that what is pending is that we have other serious national issues, more important than BBM and Bob. They are irrelevant. There are other agencies that can address those issues without it coming to the House of Reps. There are things that all should be fixed. Petroleum price is going up. I mean, in October, I just hope by December it's not reached 2,000 naira.
Right.
There is increase in food stuff. Not about that one. We are talking about the battles or whatever irrelevant issues that other agencies are fixed. Yes, I'm not saying they are not important. They are equally important. But I mean, because these issues are opening up other issues like onions. The more you open it, the more other issues come up. Yes, but there are agencies to address that. But not that you will put you will see like.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Moyo.
Let me quickly address this issue of whether they should have. So there are several committees before, committees created in the House to address certain issues. Okay. The House committee that addressed this issue is addressing a financial issue of 15 million naira bribery controversy between Bobrisky and the correctional at the EFCC, as well as some payments for the correctional facility. The committee is the House committees on financial crimes and reformatory institutions. That's just a section of all the lawmakers within the House of Reps. Now, that body, other bodies are doing other business that you consider serious. That body is just in the limelight instead because the news is in the limelight.
Okay, so they have
and so, yes, it is the people who have come, just as Miriam said, that were allowed to get away with misbehavior. And that House committee shouldn't have allowed such misbehavior because it demeans the importance of that House committee. There are several somebody has to look into this issue of bribery within the EFCC. And it cannot be the EFCC looking into itself. Yes, there are other bodies that might look into, but as our representatives on the side of the lawmakers in their oversight capacity, they should be looking into it on our behalf. But when they are looking into it, how do these people comport themselves before the House?
Should they have made the hearing public?
Yes. It has to
for
be.
Nigerians.
For the
because we would have accused them.
It didn't involve a child.
Yes.
It didn't involve a child. I don't even see anything should be private for. But House committees abroad have called Meta. What's the name of that guy?
Yes.
Zuckerberg.
Yes. Recently, they called this one on TikTok. And you will see these guys in their billions, jittery before the House.
Yes.
Because they know what the House wields. There's a sea finish that we have for the House. And it was allowed yesterday. It shouldn't have been allowed. If very dark man with his evidence cannot comport himself dignifiedly, he should have been walked out of the House. And his evidence that he has already made public will be sought out through security agencies. Because that evidence where you hold, you will bring it before the court. One thing he missed and his lawyer missed is that evidence given on the floor of the House is judicially noticed by any lawmaking body, especially the courts. You are now coming before the House, something that the court can say we have noticed it, it's public knowledge that it can come because it's an authority that brought it out. You are coming there, everybody just do body here.
Plain.
I don't understand.
But who allowed them, make them do body? Not be the House people.
Why would they talk
now? Them allowed them because you two that you called them, you couldn't have taken it as a serious
matter.
Thing. And I mean, for me, I was watching TVC this morning, and they were taking the floods in Jigawa. That is a serious issue.
Yeah.
That is what I want House of Reps to probe.
But they are different committees.
they are.
But they are different committees. They
That
are probably all. That one is not on social
They
media.
on camera on that one.
Yes.
Media one news item. They on camera.
Yes,
on
true.
BDM and
True.
Bobrisky.
I'll take this call and then we'll go on the break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. So we have Adeosun from Shomolu. Good morning, Adeosun.
How you guys doing?
We're doing amazing.
Yeah, I really like your view.
Thank you.
You've been contributing to national development. At least you've been sharing ideas, and people are really, reshaping their views and thoughts. Concerning the issue on ground, the committee that is trying to investigate this issue, they are actually jumping the gun. They couldn't have made any attempt to pick interest in those issues. The issue of a very dark man and all that, they are individuals. But this is an individual. Why would the committee be interested in individuals? And moreover, this matter was shared on the air and people were picking it up, people were sharing opinions. That aside, the EFCC as an institution has its own headship. They have their own personalities or officers they need to investigate. Likewise, the collection centers, they have their own institution in which they can also investigate their officers as well. By the time they have been able to reach a conclusion at a point in time, then the matter can be taken up at another level. But at this stage, that the so-called what do you call it committee, they actually jumped the gun. Before you know it, we might not even see the end of the issue again. So I think they should step it down and allow those institutions. They've been empowered. That's the reason why we should always give strength, power to institutions, not personality or organization of that nature. They should allow the EFCC to reach conclusion. Likewise, the correction commission too, to see to those matters. As soon as they are done with those things, then the committee can come in and try to even make their own position. They should not jump the gun. We have the court, we have the judiciary. So what are they doing? So they should step it down. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be taking a breather here. When we come back, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that they need. Come on, let's go, let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learner's academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Thanks for staying with us. So you've heard our thoughts on the Bobrisky saga, how some Nigerians feel that the House of Reps have no business in calling individuals on a matter like that. They should have allowed the agencies responsible to carry out the proper probe and investigations before getting to the House of Reps. And we've heard how it's also important that some of the committees, like Nima rightly mentioned, should be investigating such. And the fact that we need to take our offices more seriously so that Nigerians can take us more seriously. So, like every other person who has advised that we move on to more serious topics, we are moving on now. So joining us now is a world-renowned leadership consultant, a business strategist, and a transformational speaker, recognized for his profound ability to inspire individuals, organizations, and nations to achieve excellence. He will be speaking to us about national development and leadership, also discussions about unifying Nigeria. Welcome, Dr. Sam Adeyemi in the building. I'm itching to add faster. I'm just itching. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here. I've been watching your view for some time.
Wow.
So it's a pleasure to meet you all.
The pleasure is ours.
So beautiful today.
Thank you,
oh my
sir.
God.
Thank you, sir.
Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day. I wish Tope was here too. You know Tope already.
Yes, I do.
Yes. So since I've known you, because I was a beneficiary of your leadership training some time back, just finished school, we're waiting to get into the university, and I had to do that training. And you have always had this message of good leadership, effective leadership. Even while you're in the pulpit, you're preaching about spiritual things, you're also adding excellence. You are talking about how people can own their work, how people can put in the work, And I would like you to look at what is going on in the country. We are 64 today, by the grace of God. How do you think leadership has impacted where we are? Have we gone forward? Are we moving backwards? Are we in the middle? Are we stuck? Help us, please.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you once again for having me here. Your question reminds me of a song by one of our famous musicians in Nigeria. And I used to hear that song when I was a child. I know. Oh, is that?
We know this song.
Right? Whether the driver is driving me forward or is driving me backwards, said, I don't know. Although, if I remember correctly, his next album, he said, I know now. I hope that's the story of Nigeria. I think what all of us are conscious of is the fact that Nigeria holds tremendous potential. Tremendous potential. We're blessed in so many ways. And our greatest resources are our people. Nigerians are excelling everywhere all over the world in all sectors. My dear wife, Pastor Nika, and I met a gentleman, a medical doctor in the US, sometime last year, I think. The news went all over the world when he brought a baby out of the mother's womb because the baby had hydrocephalus, I think, fluids in the brain. Drained the fluid and put the baby back in the womb. Nigerians are excelling everywhere.
I read about that.
Right? And then we look at our own country and we wonder, why are things the way they are? So the potential is high. I know, of course, the 64th independence celebration, some people may wonder, what is there even to celebrate about? What role has leadership played? A lot. I tell people where the head goes, that's where the rest of the body goes. You look at a cow, for example. The decision-making goes on in the head. The thinking goes on in the head. So when they say, like those of us Christians, quote, we pray with this promise in the Bible, and the Lord will make you the head and not the tail. I say this is what it means. Decisions are not made by the tail. The tail is dragged here and there. The decision making is made in the head. In the business world, we say that the fish rots from the head. We've not been able to get the leadership issue right. I would say when it comes to the understanding of leadership, we're still at our infancy. Wow. Because right now that we're mentioning the word leadership, the only thing some people are thinking about are the guys in government.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between leader and leadership.
Okay.
There's a difference. The first one addresses personalities. The other one deals with principles and processes and systems. So at the end of the day, when you get the definition of leadership right, it changes everything. Most people think it has to do with occupying a position. But leadership simply defined means influence. The ability to influence one or more people to achieve goals. I say, when you were a child, if you were able to persuade your friend to go with you to buy sweets, that was leadership. And once you define leadership as influence, you realize it's actually happening everywhere.
Yes.
You can't discount the influence of parents on their children. That's where we get our values from. And they say the values are pretty much formed by the age of 7. Teachers only help parents to do their jobs. Okay? But then the schools are also important. So leadership happens at all levels. So once you look at Nigeria at all levels, then you will understand the problem more, that we're dealing with a cultural problem, not just with individuals. We've been changing the individuals for 64 years. How come things have not changed?
But it's not nothing wrong with us as a people. Not just, maybe in every form of leadership that we have, there's a strain of our genetics. I'm not going too far. That influences how we see things. So we see in Nigeria who can perform the surgery on a baby still in the womb in America, and if he was in Nigeria, he would not be able to do it because people would ordinarily say, "Which kind you two do?" I was reading about.
We will not even have the tools to do it here.
Not beyond the tools, he won't even get the opportunity to dare to dream it. There was a doctor I read about, Dr. Sato Sewigwe, and he's building US drones for war. And he's a Nigerian who couldn't do it here, who everybody looked down until he jackpot, and he got there. Everybody has to go out before they can. And we have, the knowledge was in you, but here, you two do. You don't start, kind of look down on everything that we consider abnormal, that is not easy here. Is it not something within us as a people that we will not allow the kind of leadership that we desire, but when we see the result out there, we compare it.
We appreciate it.
Back home.
Thank you. You are addressing the root of the matter. We leaders take the word culture seriously. Again, when you say culture, the average person thinks, it has to do with language, with the kind of food that we eat, with our fashion, sense and so on. But culture runs deeper than that. It's like an iceberg.
It's a mindset.
The part that you see above the water is very small compared to the one that is under. So the invisible part of culture is actually the most powerful part. Mindset. Values.
Yep.
Mindset, values, beliefs. So I've been studying about development, national development, for several years now. In fact, someone gave me a book, a friend gave me a book many years ago titled Culture Matters. Culture Matters. And the book was compiled from a symposium they held at Harvard University many years ago to find the connection between values and national development. And they found a very strong connection. One basic one, value for human life. Value for human life.
1/10.
So we had the opportunity of having our last baby in the US. And then they said to me that I should go buy a car seat before we could take her home. And they gave the specifications. And they said I should bring it, fix it in the car. A nurse came out to inspect it, to be sure that it aligned with the requirement, because they said that it is the law. So I said, what's the big deal? They said, the point is that in the constitution of the country, it says all men are created equal. The life of this child is worth as much as yours. And because the child is defenseless, the law has to protect that child from you. If you hold that child and the car has a crash, the child will fly out of your hand and then probably die or be seriously injured. So the law has to protect that child.
Because
That's
the
why
child
you
is vulnerable.
Sorry?
Because the child is vulnerable.
Because the child is vulnerable, right? So that's why you have to put the child in a car seat and make sure the child is secure. That began to shift my brain to understand how the whole system there works. Why the emergency services are effective. They invest money to preserve human life, to protect human life. Why the roads have to follow the specifications and so on. While when you are constructing a building, they will make sure you follow the specification. It's usually difficult there to get approval to construct anything because of the value for human life. On the other hand, here, I see...
We say only one person died.
Thank you. Right?
It's true now.
So there, if there's a car crash, if there's an accident, and you arrive on the scene first, there's a likelihood that people have been injured. It is against the law for you to drive away. If someone gets your car plate number, you will go to jail. It's the law for you to stop and render whatever assistance you can until the emergency services arrive.
But if you stop here, police will arrest you for being part of the accident.
Our values are different.
Right? So the values, right? Yeah. So that's why even when you want to do the right thing here, then you find people talking. You know, to you, what's your business? Are you the only one?
Yeah.
So if things are going to really change, we have to start from this mindset shift. And leaders play a huge role there.
Thank you.
Leaders play a huge role. I've suggested before that leaders at the highest level need to talk to Nigerians practically every day. The programming for the average person in a Western economy is different. It actually starts from childhood. Starts from elementary school. This leadership issue, when I became conscious of it several years back, you know, it's almost 30 years now that I went on radio with the program Success Power, teaching people how to succeed. At some point, I now realized that at the highest level of success, you help other people to succeed. When you combine success with selfishness, you create big problems. At the highest level of success, you turn the focus from yourself, you put it on other people, you empower other people to succeed. I now realize that we largely don't have that. So much deprivation, so much poverty. By the time we grow into adults, we just want to take and take and get. That's why I now moved into leadership. I started a leadership school, Star Leadership Academy, 22 years ago, because I was asking myself, so if leadership is that important, why are we not teaching leadership? How come it was not in the courses I studied in school and so on? So I started a leadership school, right? And I then went for master's degree in leadership. My background is in engineering. I eventually did the doctoral program in leadership. That I've seen a big gap here. I need to serve my country in this area. I'll tell you, before I stop for now, that when I compared the two systems, the system in Nigeria with what we have in the developed economies, I then saw how they prepare their citizens for leadership from childhood. It is compulsory for their children to do volunteering. They make them go to orphanages, even pet orphanages, right? Stray dogs and cats that they find. They make these young people to go and serve for free. You have to learn to do something without expecting a pay.
In return.
In high school, you get credit for it. When you want to enter university in the US, for example, they ask you to write a personal statement. One of the major things they're looking for there is the volunteering you have done. If they don't see anything there, they won't take you, because it means you're a self-centered person. You are not coming to add value to the university or to the community, right? So with that, they've turned the focus. So the challenge with us, right? We don't have the equivalent. So somebody grows until they become senator, governor, or director somewhere, and they see this big budget.
do for somebody.
Billions of naira. Then they just take and take.
That's what it,
That's what they know.
Yeah. We need to shift the mindset and the values.
It's not just Nigeria. I was watching this video. I don't know if I shared it with you yesterday. On Mobutu. Yesterday. Mobutu's house. If you see his house.
Blacks.
And he was walking there majestically. Something that you are not going to carry with you when you go. Okay. You will go and you will leave the thing. Now, he has left the thing. The thing is in ruins. In ruins.
Typical black man.
And that's... I see Paul Biya. Oh, he will go for a meeting. He will be saying, who is there with me? He doesn't even know what he's seeing or saying.
Thank you.
He doesn't want to leave that place. He will not help his people. So that kind of money that Mobutu had, if he had put it into the progress of Congo, do you know where they will be?
Yeah. Okay.
But no. They will keep on chopping. Their throats will be fat. Oh, gosh, the African leaders.
Sir, talking about, what you just said and also what YK has said, I was just thinking that, have we always been like that? Has that always been our culture? Or would you say something may have happened along the way? We had people. We had sort of our own local traditional institutions. Yeah. We had qualities and values. Where did we lose it? And how can we, because I like the comparison with our country and the Western world, but sometimes I feel that maybe we need to look within and look back a bit and maybe learn something from how we used to do things and then employ it for the future.
Oh, thank you. That's a beautiful question. The interesting thing about culture around the world is that no culture is perfect. You have the pros and the cons. However, a culture needs to evolve. So it's the evolution of our own that is a big problem. It has not gone forward, it has been going backward. Those other parts of the world that are developed now used to be like us. That's the good news. Yeah. So there's hope for us. Okay. London used to have gutters, had to have money. Used to be dirty like us. But they evolved. So even before the colonizers came, right, we had this largely in most parts of Africa and most parts of Nigeria, not all, but in most, we had this monarchical structure of government, right? And in the monarchical system of government, the king owns everybody and everything. In our Yoruba culture, we refer to our king as Kabiyesi or Kabiyosi. They are not accountable to anybody. It's one of the things that is making it difficult for us to build a democracy. Because you'll notice even democratic leaders don't want to be accountable. Right? Now, I'm not saying that the monarchical system of government is wrong, right? Because even democracy has not worked so much for us. You look at the Middle East now, you see what monarchical system of government is doing. The positive side, because it's evolving, right? You have leaders that have empathy. And because they don't have any National Assembly to get any approval from, they're able to move fast. They make decisions, but their passion is to elevate the quality of life for their people. So they are developing fast. In our own scenario, so we already had a scenario where the king owned practically everything. Like in that monarchical system, our market was Ojaoba. The farms, Okuoba. The government was Ijo Oba.
Everything belonged to the Oba.
Ijo. So the government of the king, right? The assembly of the king. And the democracy is supposed to be government of the people, by the people, for the people. Yeah. So deep down in our culture, it's actually the monarchical system we have. That's why even in a democratic setting, we want our democratic leaders to behave like kings.
Yes.
We're okay with that, and we don't make demand from them. Not only leaders in government, even in church and everywhere, even in the family, right?
Yeah.
So I think, with the colonizers then came, they fit into that easily. You see that they adapted in different parts of Africa. Northern Nigeria, they adapted. They just walked through the emir and had control over everybody, right? And then we got independence. Our chance. That was our chance, right, to evolve something new. But that system of government came back in where the leaders, the first set of leaders after the colonizers, now began to struggle among themselves. Our differences, especially tribal, came in. And then it's like we inherited internal colonizers. So that's what we're struggling.
Same thing we were running from.
What we're running from, it's now internal.
Yeah.
And it's about the same across Africa. So I would say that being a leader myself, we leaders don't see problems as problems. We see them as opportunities. I'll just say that Nigeria, the whole of Africa just has this unique opportunity right now to evolve leadership-wise. But it's not going to happen without willingness to shift our thinking. Anybody who's expecting magic to happen in Africa is deceiving themselves. As long as you have this small elite class that has control of political power and uses it to channel economic resources to benefit itself selfishly, we're not going anywhere. Some people will get richer and richer and richer. The mass of the people will get poorer and poorer and poorer. So we need to talk to those of us that are in the elite class. I'll say those of us because I struggled, I tried, but I'm there.
You entered there.
So I entered. Thank you. And then we need to talk to the mass of the people. I have friends in government, and some are now out of government. Even when you want to do the right thing in Nigeria, like Nema said earlier, they will give you problems, and you will lose the next election in this country right now. So it's actually from top to bottom. All of us need to shift our thinking and to break free from this self-centeredness. Value collective success more than the individual one.
Success.
However rich you are in Nigeria, you are still poor.
So you've given us a lot to take in, and we need to, internalize it for a minute. So we'll be taking a breather here. When we come back, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take.
I choose to
Ejeki,
stay.
close the show, you Fadala.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. Countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now. His name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym, though. You're getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You scissors. What is his name?
That woman.
Damn.
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment for pure entertainment.
Host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that we need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learner's academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Welcome back. We've been saying a lot behind the scenes, and you've unpacked a lot of things. And for me, it's not about passing the buck or trying to, blame where the problem is. We are matured enough. A 64-year-old man who is still a fool. I don't know when you're going to ever, become wise, because you are closer to the grave than, if we use the human age.
No.
To calculate.
I know
but it's
that
true.
I've lived
But it's true.
more years on this earth than I have left.
Yeah, sure, true.
Even if I live for another 40 years.
Yes, it's
I'm
not
63.
enough. Yeah, you're 63. So for you to be 64 and we're still having, this sort of issues with no hope in sight, I would like that you help us break down how we can begin to change our values. I do not believe we had a bit of values from our forefathers, but I still do not believe that we had enough values to have taken us where we are going to. Because if you put the issues side by side, you see that some persons came, they distorted us. What is wrong with our brain from going back to who we were? Why can't you say, okay, this enemy has gone. Now I have to look out for my brother and my sister. So it's not about blaming the enemy now. It's about you taking responsibility for where you are. So how do you think that we can begin to rebuild? I want you to give us, steps of rebuilding our values to a point where our children can look at us and say, you people have done great for our country.
Thank you so much. So, like you said, we had some values before. We had some values. If you ask the older generation, they will describe to you a Nigeria that was safe, a Nigeria where there was trust, a Nigeria where somebody sold wares on the road and they put their wares there and an amount of money to show people how much it cost, and they went away.
Yes.
People came, took what they wanted to take and put the money down there, right?
Yes.
I grew up in that Nigeria.
Thank you. Right? So what we're saying is that the culture needed to have evolved. That was not enough to create development.
Okay.
Right? Especially modern day development. So right now, we need to make progress. I would say, first, we need a national vision.
We need?
A national vision.
Say that.
There is this big discussion we've been avoiding. We need to agree on where we're going. The last time I checked, they don't sell tickets to someone that is not going anywhere. That's flight ticket.
Okay.
Even bus tickets.
Even bus ticket. You need to decide where you are going before you can decide the vehicle that will take you there. And in my view, government is a vehicle. You decide which one, which kind of vehicle will take you to where you want to go. Like I said, democracy has taken some countries to development. The monarchical system is taking some countries to development. So you decide where you are going. So Nigeria is like a bus that has maybe like 14 people in the bus, and all 14 want to go in different directions, and we've not agreed on where to go. So you just have this loud argument in the bus. That's what we have right now. If the driver tries to go this way, some people will scream. If you try to go this way, some people will scream. We need to have that national discussion. And I am proposing national development because there has to be something common, some common interest. We're so diverse.
Yeah.
There has to be some common interest, that binds us together, that vision should express. And what I know is that hunger has no tribe.
Yes. They touch everybody.
Touches everybody. Why is it that our young people want to go to developed economies? Because the quality of life matters. More importantly, you want to fulfill your potential as a human. You need the environment. Somebody said that when you describe leadership, it's like an aquarium. There is this species of the shark. However long it stays in the aquarium, the longest it grows to be is 6 inches. And however long it may have stayed in that aquarium, when you take it and throw it in the ocean, it grows to full size. That environment is what we don't have. And we're not going to have it until we agree to develop. What I found is there's no part of Nigeria, there's no tribe that does not desire development. There's no religion that does not desire development. In fact, I'm puzzled. We're so religious. The places where those religions came from are developed. What's our problem? I've been to Dubai, right? And I've seen how developed the place is. They practice Islam there. I've been to the US. I've been to other countries where basically their history is Christian. They're developed. So there's something wrong. It's not the religions. Religion has the power to shape culture. But culture is also so powerful, it can shape religion.
Yes, you know that.
Our own.
Let's take that in for a minute. We have a caller, Finadom from Mowe. Oh, sorry for keeping you.
Please continue.
Yes.
Culture has a way of
shaping religion.
Yes, it's so powerful. So, and if you're going to change culture, the number one instrument is that vision. That ultimate end picture.
National vision.
Yes, we've got to have a national vision where we see a Nigeria that is as developed as other parts of the world. We take our cities, we create new pictures about them, our infrastructure. There's no reason why we shouldn't have roads in some places that have 4 lanes on each side, you know, that have exits where you have rest areas and all that. Why should you be pressed on the road to Ibadan and have to run into the bush?
Doctor, you know what pains me about all these people?
You have to run into the bush.
Is they all go. There is no time that I go abroad that I don't weep for my people. I don't weep for my country because when I see development, I'm like, these people come here. They have the power to implement this in their own. They are the ones in the. But they come here, they will enjoy it.
And go back.
Go to their hospitals, they will go to their restaurants, they will do everything. Then they will come here and see their people living in squalor and still be able to sleep at night. It baffles me. Every time, I said there is no time. Last time I was away, and I was just looking at simple things like the hospitals.
Basic things. Basic thing.
YK is the I'm better than you mentality that we have.
I've gone and come
yes.
back.
So it's I have it. I'm a special breed. I am even in our Christianity. I'm sorry, where I am the head and I'm not the tail, and everyone else is the tail. You know. So for me, I feel that our culture has affected even our religious language in such a way that some people are too special, you know, for the rest of them. And so they deserve only the best, and then you can suffer. And so because of that, you feel justified when you enrich just yourself and empower, and entitled to it.
Let me speak to, since I operate in the church space, let me speak to the Christians.
Please, sir.
That Jesus Christ looked at his disciples and said, you know that among the Gentiles, their rulers lord it over them. He said, but among you, it shall not be so. He was emphatic. So, if you call yourself a Christian and you adopt that mindset that makes you as a leader superior to the people you lead, something is wrong with you. You're not practicing what the founder of the religion laid down. He said, among you, it shall not be so. Anyone who wants to be the leader among you, he said, let him be the servant. Anyone who wants to be first among you, let him be the last. He said, for the Son of Man, talking about himself, did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a. Every human is born selfish.
Yes.
And except we have a program that breaks that selfishness, that self-centeredness, and turns our attention, we are not going to make progress.
How do we get that program?
We are not going to make progress.
How do we get that program? Because it's still we, the selfish people, that will
Let me join your
instituting the program.
So there's a system of government we operated. That everybody looks back and says the past was better than now. That everybody looks back and says the past was better than now. Because we had a time when what we collectively own as our commonwealth was used for the poor. It was time where free education, free all the way to university education, whatever commonwealth we gather, the way they practice it in Qatar, that the oil enriches everybody born of Qatari descent.
Citizenship.
It was done here where in the southwest, everybody, because cocoa was here, was entitled to free education all the way to university.
Bursaries.
They were entitled to helps. They were, given this training on the collective wealth of the people. But it's no longer here now. We are subscribing to more of the U.S. way. But it's no longer here now. We are subscribing to more of the U.S. way. Presidential system of democracy that we practice is of the U.S. It's something that maybe is not. I think is not suited for us.
We're not practicing it the way they are practicing.
No, now you will practice.
No, not be the way. Not be the same way.
Our own. I'm telling you, we are practicing our own. They have institutions, but we are practicing it exactly the way they are without our own institutions. That's the only difference. We are practicing it, and it's not suited because now there's so many divergent cultures, views, and dissent. People don't know what to believe. people in the Southwest have a different mindset. Up north, it's a different mindset where they, worship their leaders and respect their leaders. So how do we come to design something
that is
for one Nigeria, if one Nigeria should be, that will be suited for us all?
Okay, before you answer that question,
we get
I have
like
a caller on the
oil
line, Eniola from Ogba. Yes, Ogba. Good morning, Eniola.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Auntie Annie, Auntie Nima, Miriam, and Pastor Sam.
And we need to redesign our educational system so that it can work for us, so that our children will understand.
That our leaders too have to have dreams and visions there.
Yeah, right up there. Thank you so much, Dr. Sam. Let me add Pastor.
Thank
Sam,
you
for being on the show today. God bless you so much. And I hope we've learned one or two or three or four things, yes, from the conversation that we've had so far with Dr. Sam Adeyemi. I wish Nigerians happy Independence Day, as we hope, and pray that our country will move forward. And that's all we can take, ladies. Thank you so much for being beautiful today. You all look amazing.
It's not only hoping and praying, it's action.
Action. Yes, we're going to take action. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye now.